Hello and welcome back. I'm Shelf Unit and this is my Let's Play of Shadowrun Dragonfall. So, last time we... Oh, goodness, we went down to the sewers, we kicked ass, we saved the cruise bazaar, we stopped bombs, we encountered the burning Dante, yes, obviously, Dante's Inferno. So he became a hellhound, which was fun. So we've got a couple of things to do right now. I'm going to quickly have a look and see what I can spend my karma on. I can increase my body almost twice. Ranged combat 7. I can increase the shotgun, but I don't think it's going to do a great deal. Do I increase my dodge? No, I don't think so. Shotgun, there's no more special abilities to get with it. Tempted to increase body. Reduces... increases the chance to hit with ranged weapons. Let's do that. And confirm. Okay, so she's now better in ranged combat. Let's see, these guys can now take the sniper rifle specialist. Oh, I can target 2 enemies in one action, that's good. But speed loader I think is probably better because that takes... no, I'm going to go rifle specialist. 2 shots. Probably, I can, yeah, but that's cooldown 7. I'm going to take this. And then let's do this. More powerful, decreasing incoming damage. Let's go Dragon Slayer's Wrath. Glory. She gets... let's go for the pistol. And this guy. Physical damage is reduced. Yeah, I'm thinking that's good. Okay. Excellent. Let's go and watch things. Let's go up here and watch things. Let's talk to Dante quickly and say hi. Dante lifts his head and looks up at you mournfully. The feral aggression is gone from his eyes. He's changed, you can see it, but he's still Dante. So say and still. Dante was very helpful out there, but I'm a bit concerned about his ability to petrify people he doesn't like and then rend their flesh with tooth and claw. Yeah, that bothers me too. He's not a normal dog, not by a long shot. Is he possessed? I assume you checked his aura and discovered he's part hellhound. Monica trained him for months to be combat ready. We had a hellhound in the house? Monica didn't tell us? For months? Sir, even stars him under control. Dante performed well in the field, followed commands flawlessly. I have no concerns. Welcome to the team, Dante. Read the contents. Alice's optical chips. You slot the optical chip into the computer's waiting check. On screen, Alice's office blossoms into view. Half a second later, a real-time simulation of Alice appears, seated behind her mahogany desk. Something about it reminds you of a figure from a wax museum, lifelike, but dead inside. It greets you with a facsimile of Alice's joyless smile. Customer name, Sarah Evenstar. His voice is hollow synthetic, an automaton masquerading as a living woman, one who you've never met in the flesh. Account number 1012579. Greetings, valued customer. I am an offline simulacrum of the Alice persona. I have been included... You're all going to die. That's the Red Queen. I have been included on this chip to answer any questions that you might have about your information purchase. Hefty pace attack. Not now, Blitz. If you are ready to proceed, I will present Alice's findings. You may interrupt this presentation at any point by saying, Alice, I have a question. Is that the only thing you respond to, or can I talk to you like a normal person? The simulacrum hitches slightly. You may interrupt this presentation at any point by saying, Alice, I have a question. That answers that. We're ready. Let's get the show on the road. Very well. Commencing presentation. The simulacrum grows rigid for a moment and then seems to relax. When it speaks, it sounds more natural, as though the real Alice is speaking through it. All right, Sir Evenstar. I've got good news for you, and I've got bad news. Let's start with the good news. I found Vauclair, and he's alive. Thank God. The trail to your missing doctor was a long and slippery one. The fee that you paid me barely covered my costs with the job. I sent a team into the socks on a fact-finding mission. I bribed government officials. I greased the palms of wage slaves at megacorps all across Europe. Each step I took eliminated possibilities, drew me a little bit closer, and finally I found the place where Vauclair is being held. Simulacrum makes a sweeping gesture with its right hand, and an image switchblades onto the screen. A grainy overhead photograph annotated with map coordinates. You recognize it immediately. This is where you'll find him. He's being held captive at a remote estate called the Harfield Manor. Gotta be kidding me. He was there the whole time? Glory says nothing. She just studies the photograph and nods. Okay, nobody tell me. I get it. This is something else that I missed. Alice, I have a question. The simulacrum hitches up again, and you can feel the life drain out of it. It looks at you robotically. You have a question? All right, please make your inquiry now. You said the Vauclair is being held at the estate. What evidence did you turn up to support that? One of my assets at Transys Neuronet provided me with a video feed dated 10th of October 2053. That feed was taken by a corporate surveillance drone. Playback commencing. The screen is filled with a grainy black and white video feed. You recognize the Harfield Manor, photographed from high above. The camera pushes in and the image sharpens. Though through a barred ground-level window you can see the shape of a stooped, emaciated figure. His body shows clear signs of neglect. The figure is unmistakable. It's Vauclair, 20 years older and worse for wear. His skin hangs loose on his bones and his cheeks are hollow. There's a distinctly grey pallor to his skin. That's Vauclair, all right. What's left of him anyway? Doesn't look like they've been feeding him much. He shakes his head. Poor bastard. Another figure steps into frame behind Vauclair, an orc. He turns his head slightly and his skin grafts catch the light. Vauclair turns slowly to face Audrun and the video feed cuts out. The simulacrum stares at you impassively. Do you have another question? What else did you turn up about the Harfield Manor? Seismological data and thermal imaging confirm the existence of a large hollow chamber under the estate. It is my suspicion that Dr. Vauclair is being held somewhere within the substructure. If Yoshwin kept Vauclair trapped there for almost 20 years, she's got to have a reason for it. It takes effort and resources to lock a man away for that amount of time. So what's our endgame in all of this? Why not just kill him and be done with it? Banish, revenge, who knows? Remember, this is the man who shot her down. He sent her crashing into a radioactive wasteland. If somebody did that to me, I'd want to hurt him too, and I'd make it last. I think you go deeper than that. According to Winter's DVD, Vauclair designed the experimental weapon that shot her down, and that weapon split her body from her essence. Glory glances down at her own steel and chrome arms and suppresses a shudder. If I had to guess, I'd say she's trying to make him fix whatever he did to her. That's what makes sense to me. There's a moment of silence as the group processes Glory's suggestion. Before anyone can speak, the simulacrum cuts back in. Do you have another question? No more questions. Let's get on to the bad news. Very well. Feel free to interrupt it again with any future inquiries. The simulacrum pauses and a brief tremor washes over its body. Its eyes flutter and you can hear the sound of your computer working to process more of the chip's data. Iger turns to address the team. If Vauclair's at Harfield, we've got problems. Last time we broke into that place, they took Monica out. It was a miracle that any of you got out alive. Yes, but now we know what's down there. This time we'll be prepared for it. We can handle this. Iger shakes her head. No, it'll be even worse this time. First time we went in, we had the element of surprise on our side, but now they'll be expecting us. They're hunting us, remember? Their security team's going to be waiting for us, Dietrich. That Audrun bastard is going to be waiting for us. And even if we make it past them, we're going to have to deal with a dragon in the basement. Well, what else can we do? Cut and run? Last time I checked, that wasn't an option either. Even if it were, I wouldn't take it. I'm running from this, not after what they did here tonight. None of us are, Glory, but Iger's right. We can't just go charging in there again, not without some kind of edge. The simulacrum jerks back to life. It resumes speaking, blissfully unaware of the conversation that it's cutting off. And now, Sir Evenstar, on to the bad news. You know now where Vauclair is, but rescuing him will not be possible. Alice, I have a question. He continues without waiting for a response. Why the hell not? In the course of my investigation, I encountered something terrifying in the Matrix. It was fast, cunning, and very definitely intelligent. I'm convinced that I only escaped because it let me go. It could have killed me in a heartbeat if it wanted me to. if it wanted to. This thing that I met was protecting the Half-Elf Manor, and it's going after anyone who gets too close to what is happening there. Alice, do you see what's you see in there? What is going after these people? By way of explanation, I would like you to read the following document. The simulacrum makes another sweeping gesture, and the menu slides back onto the screen. This time, it's filled with text. What you're looking at is an archived forum discussion from the early days of the Shadowrun BBS. Blitz stares at the screen. It doesn't get in, Chief. This discussion is dated back to 2036. That's ancient history in the decking community. It probably isn't even correct to call these guys deckers. Hackers would be the more appropriate term. When you're finished reading it, say, Alice, I'm done, and we can continue. Read the archive discussion. As you lean in to read, the text slowly begins to scroll up from the bottom of the screen. You hear all about the SK team that got crisped a few hours ago. A whole lab's worth of research is all burned and broken beyond recognition. Ugly stuff. At this point, who hasn't? Power spike. Got them right through their data checks, like a bolt of lightning to the brain. 1 in a million accidents, what they're saying. Can you believe that? Got a more plausible explanation? Yes, actually it was a clean-up operation. Colour me intrigued. What were they cleaning up? A secret project that Loftway didn't want anything to do with. You might have heard rumours about it. Project name was Apex. And you've lost me. Clockwork, seriously? That old line of Drek? I'm telling you, jokers, Apex is real, or at least it was, until the Whizworm pulled the plug. Come on, come on, Clockwork, we're still decades away from seeing a fully functional AI. You know that. Those Apex stories have been floating around. They're just some conspiracy nuts' wet dream. Fine, keep your heads in the sand. Some of us know the truth when we read it. Okay, I'll hang you. But riddle me this. If Loftway has an armed and operational AI in its claws, why kill it? You remember what happened to most of the Echo Mirage? The crash virus killed them, fried their brains, but I don't see what that has to do with anything. With the commercial release of the CDT-1000, some security team firms are working on counter-intrusion software that could do the same thing. Black I see. You can look it up if you don't believe me. Whoa, scary stuff, man. Well, the goal of Apex Project was even scarier. IC waits for you to come into it. Apex wouldn't be bound by those restrictions. It could go out hunting, hit its targets when they least expected it. That's why they called it Apex. It was designed to be the apex predator of the digital world. And so rather than using it to his advantage, Loftway decided to kill it in the cradle? The Whizworm's no fool. Some things are too dangerous to play around with. How would you put that genie back in the bottle if it had ever slipped out of your control? Answer, you couldn't. And then it would take over the world. Okay, this thread has officially gone off the rails. I'm closing it down for the good of mankind. Alice, I'm done. The simulacrum jerks back to life and settles into a neutral pose. There are no official records in the SADA group database to support the existence of the Apex project, but the thing I encountered was Apex. Of that I am certain. Just as I am certain that Apex was responsible for the deaths of Monica Schaefer, Green Winter's Clockwork Peregrine, and a score of other deckers over the last 16 years. Blitz raises his hand. Hold up, Alice. I have a question. I thought they said that Loftware killed Apex. They speculated as much, yes. They were wrong on that count. I do believe that SADA Group was developing Apex as a tool for Matrix warfare. I'm also convinced that the IT personnel who were killed were Apex development team. I don't think that Loftware was responsible for their deaths. Apex killed them. That'd be my guess, yes. In the turmoil surrounding Loftware's buyout of SADA Group, a number of projects went missing. I believe that Apex was appropriated by a member of the Fuchs organization at this point. It was then unleashed on its own development team to silence them. Since then, it has provided information control for firing. A pet AI would explain how Fuchs has managed to maintain their conspiracy and avoid detection for the past 2 decades. Anytime anyone gets too close, the AI takes them out and scrubs the record clean. So there's your bad news, Sally and Star. Rogue Claire is being held at the Half-Elf Manor. But knowing that doesn't do you no good because you can't approach the place. I doubt you could open the door without Apex frying you. We did last time. They were trying to protect their secret, like Audrey said. If we hadn't gone down into the basement, they'd have let us go. Apex didn't react to us until Monica attempted to force the door to the basement. And now that cat's out of the bag, they have no reason not to pull out the big guns on sight. Dietrich grimaces. You're right. We can't go back while Apex is in place. The room falls into silence. Finally, Iger turns to you. What's the play, Sarah Evenstar? We can't turn back now. If Apex is standing between us and Rogue Claire, then we need to find a way to kill Apex. Fucking A, boss, I mean. Do you hear that, Alice? Do you have any suggestions? Simulacrum hitches again. The pause stretches finally, comes back to life. The AI has a kill switch, but Alice deemed any additional contact with Apex to be unjustified risk. Attempting to reach the kill switch would be inadvisable. I'll be the judge of that. Alice, tell us about Apex's kill switch. Simulacrum stares at you with dead eyes. Thanks to my close encounter with the AI, I was able to run a trace on it. Through this trace, I discovered the physical address of a backdoor access point for Apex's programming. An old Seder Group research lab, long since abandoned and fallen into disrepair. The facility is now hotly contested gang territory. I have also determined that a kill switch for the AI exists somewhere in the basement of this facility. I'll provide you with the data address. I don't like this matter, this chief. It said Apex let Alice escape. He turns to address the simulacrum on the screen. Alice, why would a Matrix Warfare AI allow you to run a trace on it? It stares straight ahead. Its eyes are dead. I'm afraid the answer to that question falls outside of the scope of my written parameters. The simulacrum stutters one final time, and then looks up at you with an apologetic smile. We've now reached the end of the presentation. I've been encoded with a final message from Alice to Sarah Evenstar. Playback commencing. The simulacrum's eyes go wide, and the life floods back into it. It stares directly at you. Sarah Evenstar, if you didn't listen to me before, listen to me now. Drops this. After going after Vauclair, get out of Berlin. Stop going after Vauclair. Get out of Berlin. Stay out of the Matrix. I'm telling you this for your own good. That's all I have to say. I'm following my own advice. I'm out. Don't try to contact me again. Simulacrum reverts to its idle state, slumping like a puppet on its strings cut. Its eyes glaze over and its face goes slack. And the screen cuts to black. Okay, so the Dragon has a killer AI in charge of security. I can't say I'm surprised, then nothing surprises me anymore. We know what killed Monica now. We have a name for it, and we know how to kill it. That's good enough for me. We know what we have to do. We can either stand around talking about it or we can go. Agreed. We shut down Apex and we re-enter the estate and rescue Vauclair. He's the key to this whole thing. Sounds like a plan, boss. Why still say all of this is crazy talk, Chief? Taking on an AI isn't just a bad idea, it's suicide. So my vote is to cut and run. Blitz surveys the rest of the group, sees the determination in their faces, and finally he sighs. But if you're really doing this, you'll want the best decker you can find along for the ride. And I guess that nominates me. Woo. Alice said that the kill switch is located in some old SK facility. Assuming that the site was shut down sometime after the Apex project disappeared, it could have stood empty for years, maybe decades. She also said that the building was in the gang territory now. I wonder if it'll be anything like Das Castle House was. God, I hope not. There's only one way to find out. Let's get prepped. This thing isn't going to kill itself. Blitz glances at you. The worry is painted all over his face. I can't believe this. I'm saying this, but you'd better bring me along. You try going up against an AI without an overhot decker at your side, and you're probably going to regret it. Iger begins a weapon check. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Whatever's there, we'll deal with it. First, let's find our way into the basement. He peers through the scope on her sniper rifle, and then we kill the AI that killed Monica. Damn right. The team breaks to begin gearing up. As she slides a shell into a shotgun, Iger catches your eye. You did good out there, defending the cruise bazaar. You've had our backs the entire way. Make good decisions. I appreciate that. Now you need to forgive yourself. You went out of position, Iger, and you know it. Iger scales the floor. Thanks. Can't do it, but thanks. Come on, you two. We've got a job to get ready for. Yes, we do. Let's quickly talk to everybody. As you approach, Iger tends to face you, blah blah blah. I'd like to hear about your time at the KSK. She says, nope, not in the habit. What do you think I wouldn't understand? No, it isn't that you've been under fire before you get it, but I don't share war stories with civilians. You may be a Shadowrun, but you were never a soldier. It doesn't have to be a war story. I just want a better idea of who I'm running with. She looks you in the eye for a moment, evaluating. Finally, she shrugs. All right, you win. I have everything to my time in the KSK from my street name on down. So, you tell me what you want to know and we'll see where this goes. How'd you get your street name? Back when I was in basic training, a fellow recruit made a vulgar joke at my expense. He said I reminded him of the north face of the Eiger in the Bernese Alps. Huge and beautiful, but dangerous to climb. His tone left little doubt as to what sort of climbing he had in mind. I think he was trying to proposition me in his clumsy way, poking me in front of the other recruits to try and provoke a reaction. She shrugs. Anyway, he got one. I broke 3 of his ribs and the name stuck. Remind me not to proposition you. Frown crosses her face. Either you're trying to be cute or you're completely missed the point. Neither would surprise me. I didn't break his ribs because he propositioned me, because I'm not a get sandwiched. I put that recruit down because he demeaned me, and he did it in front of our peers. Calm down, I was just joking. Funny, it's exactly what the recruit said as being dragged off to the medic's tent. It was just a joke, I didn't mean anything by it. I was never reprimanded by the top brass, though. I knew what I knew. Whatever the recruit's intent, he put me in a situation that required a response. Okay, I stand corrected. You might mean that, or you could just be trying to de-escalate the situation. You tell me, fearless leader. You want to hear why I did the what? Or would you rather I just drop it, because there are plenty of other things I could be doing right now? Go ahead, tell me. Alright, I will. As soon as that idiot made his little joke, it was a foregone conclusion that I was getting saddled with the nickname Iger. The only choice of the matter was whether it happened under his terms or under mine. If I hadn't broken a twit's ribs, the name Iger would have meant difficult sexual conquest to a whole barracks full of recruits. That's where I would have been to them from that point on. My own accomplishments be damned. Thanks to what I did, the new name meant the troll who doesn't take shit from anybody. Instead, it's a name I'm proud to go by, and I've hung on to it ever since. Word of advice to you, Sarah. If anyone puts you in a position like that, if he demeans you in front of your unit, whatever his intent, the appropriate response is to put that person down. Hard. Out in the field, nothing will kill you faster than losing the respect in your team. By that logic, I should have broken your ribs after Monica died. In your place, I would have. She looks you up and down, praising you. Not that you succeeded if you'd have tried, but in terms of saving face, it would have done wonders. In all seriousness, Sarah, I'm sorry I put you in that position. I shouldn't have, and I acknowledge that. Anything else, or can I get back to prepping for our next run? Let's just drop it. Thanks, Iger. Okay, let's go talk to you this time. Different room. How are you holding up? Look like you're a million miles away. I have a question for you, Glory. I still need to talk to you. Ask questions. You can't have started running with shadows much more than 5 years ago, tops. So what's with a vintage crime? It was cheap. Gets the job done. End of discussion. I don't think so. I know a lot of street Sams in my time, but I've never met anyone who's voluntarily installed cyberware that old. You're right. There's more to it than I'm letting on, but I'm not interested in talking about it. Can't help but notice you seem guarded, withdrawn. It's my problem, none of your concern. If whatever happened to you has impaired your ability to trust me, then it's my concern. Come on, Glory. Talk to me. Trust is earned, and I don't know you yet. Maybe later when we get to know... What? Fuck you. How many bloody runs have we been on? Not bothering to talk to you. Hey, I've never been down here. Or have I? What's down here? Oh, this place. Yeah. Oh, maybe. I don't know if I've ever been down there. Huh. Okay, I'm going to cut this episode short here because there's not really enough time to get into another run right now, so sorry about the lack of action in this one, mostly just talky. No, well, if you did enjoy it, you may have done, who knows. Please subscribe. If not, don't worry about it. There will definitely be some action in the next episode, I can guarantee that at least. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.